Hi everyone, welcome to the Building Digital Product YouTube channel, and today in the studio you have me, Andriy Sambir and Oksana Khrupa, and we will speak about how to build your new digital product, because you can build all digital product, I guess, right? This video and this record will be interesting for someone who, running the business, have some kind of the enterprise or maybe smaller one, and you want to build some kind of digital solution that's supposed to help you somehow for different industries, for different areas, and we will try to go through the stages which are not super strict. You don't need to follow every of this step. However, that's some kind of the roadmap that we prepared for you in order to make your life easier in case you actually wanted to build your own software. Let me begin. So the first thing that you actually need to do when you want to build your own digital product is to have the idea of your digital product, right? So we know that ideas, they cost nothing, execution costs everything. However, you still need to have a good idea. A very often situation which I know happen in our businesses, that potential customer prospect, they come to us to the Linkup, and they tell, I have a great idea, let's sign the NDA and then I will tell you about that. We never had a good project out of that. I mean, it's never serious. So guys, again, idea are cool, but share it with everyone, get the criticism, understand feedbacks from people before you're actually doing something. I don't think that in case you have a great idea and holding only for yourself, then you will definitely succeed.
Yes, but I should clarify here that when Andriy told about signing NDA, it's mostly about when we're talking about like startups and very new idea. For sure that in case you are coming with a business and during our discussion you will tell us some nuances of how your business is working, some confidential information. For sure, in this case, we definitely need to sign NDA. But in case you just have an idea which you are kind of observing right now and trying to understand the nuances, it will be more useful to share it with more people to understand how people feel about it, because most probably some of them may be one of your potential user or client who will pay for your subscription or etc. So don't hide too much.
So I will give you just a few, techniques that may help you to generate the ideas. All right, so you may just sit down and think about what I can build that can be useful. And I have the great example. For example, Slack. Software called Slack. Who don't know, this is the messenger, working messenger, one of the competitor of Microsoft Teams, for example. The idea of Slack itself were generated by using the design thinking workshop. So I have here the definition what it is. So the design thinking workshop is adopted a human-centered approach by emphasizing with users defining their problems, ideating potential solutions, prototyping and testing them. Design thinking helps you create innovative product and that truly address user needs. And that thing was very well developed by company IDEO, which were founded by David Cayley. So design thinking itself, that is not, that's quite long on the market. It's from 1960 as far as I remember. However, David Cayley and his company make it to the new level and use it very often.
Yeah, design thinking framework is very nice one, and actually I had experience we was working with one of the clients. And he by itself is very experienced product manager. So he was working for more than 15 years in the creation of different digital product for different companies. And when he came to us requesting a proposal for the design and development of his product, he actually came to me with a design thinking dashboard. So he told that we with the team sit down. So before coming to us, they sit down together and making the design thinking workshop. They have timelines, deadlines, everything. It has a lot of information, all all the ideas which they generated with that, and it was super useful for our team because we can just look through it and understood a lot of different nuances for which I need to spend a few hours of talking with him, and clarifying that. So that it really saves a lot of times and shows that clients are serious and understand already, like he made some job about his idea, so he understands the details.
Yeah, again, idea worth nothing, execution worth everything. And just to have, something else except the design thinking, there are another technique. It's called user journey mapping. To explain it very easy, in case you already have running businesses, you most probably supposed to have the process over there. In case you don't have process in business, most probably you don't have business, right? Or very bad business, right? So just thinking through the processes, you may identify some kind of the things that may be automated, or maybe some kind of the software may help you. Trying to describe that step by step, you basically will create some kind of the roadmap, and then you can convert that roadmap to the possible functions that can be included into software that may solve your problem. So that's, few ways of how you get the idea what's supposed to be built, and how you need to frame that into something that you can come to the software development company that can help you with. So yeah, that's the first stage, the idea stage.
Yeah, the second stage I will talk about, it is idea screening. So you have all these boards over whenever where you specified, like actually generated everything what you want to do. And idea screening stage, it is like checking your baggage in the airport, for some dangerous idea. So you should go through each idea which you have in your list and make a SWOT analysis of it and evaluate the risk and how does it align with your company objectives or market objectives, like where you want it to be. So SWOT analysis, it is about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of every piece of your idea of function. So you analyze each of that, trying to prioritize and delete this one which are not at priority right now, or then they don't align with your goals. Or also, it is very important to identify the risks, because sometimes some of the idea may be not technically feasible at the current state of the market. For example, if we talk about artificial intelligence, augmented reality, yeah. So this technology can do a lot, but still sometimes we create very crazy ideas which are not possible or very expensive to develop today. So maybe you should put this in a in more long-term plan.
Well, I mean, I can take it simpler. If you wanted to open the tobacco store when the government is denying all the tobaccos in the country, most probably that idea doesn't suit, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's from the real world something. Yeah, so the next thing that, you got the ideas, you check them from different sizes, plus minuses, and so on. Then you need to think about, how you will pack those ideas to the real product. And you need to do some kind of the concept development, right? Some kind of the MVP, you need to, first of all, you need to understand who will use it. So your potential target audience, right? I mean, is it age, male, female, in case that's important, right? Where are they working, what they like, what kind of the habits. The more narrow you have it, maybe the better, or no. I mean, it depends from your industry and the niche. But however, you still need to understand who is supposed to pay money for that. You need to understand how they're going to use it, or in other words, which kind of the problem your product will solve. In case you can identify them, most probably your product will be useless. You need to search for the competitors, and very often I heard, I have no competitors, my idea is super unique. That never a case, that never happening. You always have your competitors, even in case there are no one who doing the same thing as you do. There are still someone who is covering that kind of pain. Yes, they may do it worse than your ideal idea. However, they still doing that. So you need to analyze and get some kind of the information to compete with them. You always need to find your competitors. You can develop for yourself, it's called value proposition chart concept. So that's basically all of the features and all of the problem solving that you can give as a solution. So yeah, like that. And in the end of the day, you need to have the idea of the prototype. At least the easiest one is take the paper, take a pen, and just draw a few screens on the paper, and that would be already your first prototype.
Yes, but I should make a correction there, because you slightly was talking about this fourth stage, actually what is marketing strategy. So before drawing the screen, it is important to define your marketing strategy, and as which serves as a blueprint of your plan. How do you want to promote the value of your product to the client? And what Andriy already mentioned, it is value proposition canva, it is unique selling proposition. It is, by the way, good you didn't mention that, but setting the KPIs. So what you want to achieve. For example, if it is a new product, you want this product to increase revenue by 25%, for example.
For a company.
And yeah. And it is very good when you set up your goals, you are very precise about it. So not just like increase the revenue, but by which percent, like what exactly, or bring new market in this range, So its goal should be very clear, because when you have a clear goals, then when all team know where they need to go and run.
By the way, lots of the founders, they have this kind of the thread that they have the idea of the new product or new project inside of their companies, and they like it so much that in the end of the day they don't care about the result. They just love the process of that, like here in Linkup, this podcast is one of the separate product, and I very fascinated, and very often other of the team remind me that, okay, we still have our KPIs, we still need to get some kind of the views on YouTube and so on.
Yeah.
So that I'm talking about my own
idea is great, but let's follow our plan.
So I love this process, sitting over here and speaking to this microphone, right? But still we need to get some kind of the results and some kind of the numbers. So
And actually the question which I wanted to raise here when we talk about marketing is actually there are two strategies. We told that this process is not linear. So we started from the idea of the product, but actually there exist two strategies. It is a product fit and market fit. So where you start? Do you start your process from identifying what product you want to develop, or you start identifying market where you want to develop the product, like firstly challenges and needs or features of the product? And that is actually the dilemma of chicken and egg. You don't know what should come first, marketing or product. Modern approach told that marketing should go first, because initially you need to understand what the needs and challenges of your users are. And the Lean Startup methodology by Eric Rice actually explains this, that you need to understand market, user, target audience, create ideal customer profile and all of this stuff. And this works. But choose market fit or product fit is very depend exactly from your business. And product fit, when product fit is working, when you need to start with a product, it's when your idea very innovative. So when market for this product still do not exist, and you can't evaluate it because you don't know how the people will react to it.
I have a great example here. So very old Henry Ford, right? Who is considered as the inventor of the automobile, right? He is actually not, by the way, but still, like, lots of the people consider that he invented the car. He told that in case I would listen to my users, I would invent better. I'm not sure
better
how.
Bicycle.
Well, not a bicycle, but better horse driving thing. I really missing this word in English, but I guess our listeners got me. And he invented a car, something that didn't exist. So again, in case you're starting from the market fit, then you are doing the research on the market and trying to find something that will solve the current problems. Or you're doing super innovative solution, and another example, like iPhone. There was no smartphones before the iPhone, and iPhone make a trend and make it an innovation that never existed before. Second one is more risky. Okay, it's more risky because sometimes it's not on time. Because, by the way, iPhone wasn't the first smartphone. However, it was in the right time and with the right marketing explanation, all that kind of thing. However, in case you succeed, and you are first, you gain 90% of the market. So you got to the blue ocean. Those who don't know, there are a great book that called Strategic of the Blue Ocean. The link is supposed to be somewhere here on the screen. The next one, the business analysis calculation.
Yes.
So you got, you already got an idea, you already challenged that. Well, now you need to calculate money. Now you need to understand how much that thing going to cost, how you're going to sell it, which kind of the model you will sell it. Like, for example, in case we are talking about the digital solution which you deliver as the software as a service, right? Well, most probably you need to think about some kind of the subscription or freemium model. And in case that subscription, how much is going to cost. So, and that another thing can be super different. Continue the example with the subscription. I mean, when I hear the word subscription, I usually expect something, $20 maximum a month. However, we recently had the case with the real estate inspectors in the United States. So very small, very niche market. For those who don't know, real estate inspectors in the US is someone who is coming to the house when it's going to be sold. So when real estate trying to sell the house, there are supposed to be someone who make an estimation for the price of that house. You always can sell it, more expensive or cheaper. That's up to you. It's a free market. United States are a free country. However, there are still supposed to be an estimation of the house from the professional, and those, there are a certain number of those professionals, and they are using some kind of the certain tools to evaluate pricing of the house.
Yes,
Again,
because they check everything actually in your house. So if you have any washing machine, cleaning machine, roof, so he check literally all the every component of the house, especially when it's come to electronics like refrigerators and etc. So he check everything whenever it's working. Fridges, yeah. But okay.
Okay, anyway.
Yes. So, and it is actually extensive work because at our home we have a lot of different things, and actually inspector have to evaluate how long these things will be working, whenever it's working, when it will be broken. They even check like the small details, of it to understand like how long it will work.
But the bottom line of all of this story, because that's super interesting, but the bottom line of all of this story is there are only few thousands inspectors for the whole United States. So it's super small niche market. And in case you will, the software which we are talking about, we can't tell too much details because of the NDAs, but the idea is you can make the subscription over there for $20 because then the software will just not be paid off. So the subscription over there, as far as I remember, that used to cost like $500 per year. Something like that, right?
I truly do not
Well, I
remember
mean, the
exactly.
price of that subscription was definitely a few times higher than you usually expect, but because of the very niche market. And in the same time, that bring value to those people because those money were nothing comparing to the value the digital product used to bring for them. So, well, that's the good case of how you need to calculate your money. So you have your market, you have your how much people you can attract, and then you can understand how much it's supposed to cost in the end of the day. So you can make money, grow, and in the same time not too expensive to people to buy.
Yeah, and actually I have an Excel table with which automatically calculates, it have such fields as like cost of the development, cost of the monthly maintenance, how much you need to spend for some stuff, for example, like support team and etc., and the cost of the marketing. And then I count how many users we need to engage every year and what is our subscription plan, a subscription price. And based on these few fields, I'm calculating how much users we need, what the subscription price should be, and I can count when you will paid off, like you will paid off for all marketing, initial your investments, and when you will starting to make like revenue. So yeah, usually in case you really get into the point with a subscription of $80 and involvement of 200 users every year, 200 users you need to engage, you will be paid off in a year for the product which costs 300,000. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go to the next stage because I have here.
But it is just a development.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
also
of course.
marketing and etc. Yeah, product development. Okay, at this stage, we have calculated everything, we research everything, we know what we do, who are our market, how much we want to
sell it, for how much we want to sell it.
Yeah. And we actually need to make our abstract idea create a real product. So we usually, this initial stage of the product we call MVP, or minimum viable product. That is not the fully
functional thing.
It is fully functional, but it didn't cover the full scope of everything that you want to include initially. So it should have the most core and important functionality, which actually show your uniqueness to the users. You don't need to have everything. You need to have there the most important part, which we also defining during our idea screening. For example, we set up the priorities and we know what we need to have in the MVP.
I have a super stupid example here. Super easy example. So in MVP, you have only one way to the login, most probably email. You don't have Google authentication, Facebook authentication, Apple authentication, or the other shit authentication, because that's MVP. One thing that you do fast, core thing, because authentication is definitely not the core feature of your product. But that's very easy example to understand. You never develop all of this thing in case you're doing the MVP.
Yeah, because everybody should remember that people sometimes, are mixed up the things when they think that MVP are done in order to start making revenue. It is not. It should not provide all the value which you plan to do in the long term.
Of the concept.
Yeah, you want to spend minimum, which are required to implement all the functionality quality. Because also remember, quality is important because it is first time you are showing your product to the user, and losing them at this stage will be bad thing. So product should be quality and should have the core features.
By the way, but you still got the feedback your product is bad, right? So that's still a feedback.
Yeah, any feedback is a feedback.
Yeah, of course.
So you test it as a market. So the most important what you need to get from the MVP, it's a feedback from your potential users. Do they like it? Does this function provide them value? Are they ready to pay this price? So after you have launched you tested this and developed this MVP, the feedback is the most important for you.
In the ideal world, the result of developing MVP is to get few evangelists, I hope that's the right word, someone who will advocate your product, who will tell I'm going to use it. I wanted to pay for it more when you will finish that and, make some kind of the pre-ordering.
Yeah, and actually a lot of people are very open about sharing their ideas, because in case you will develop...
Share their feedback,
yeah. Yeah, because if you share idea of your product with somebody who really needs that, like in case I need some product for I don't know, for cooking, and somebody asking me what you would like to have in this app, I am like, I will tell you what I would like because it's benefit for me. In case he will develop this, it's benefit, it's my value, I can use it will save me time or etc. So people are very open to share ideas, so don't be scared to go and ask and show them your product.
So when you got an MVP, and let's imagine you got some money from investor, or the MVP started to generate your revenue, you may want it to expand the product, and then you need to have some kind of the serious technical development. In this case, you already need to find you a good technical team. You can hire people in-house, you can hire freelancers, you can hire outsourcer company, or you can hire the product-oriented company like Linkup is. And there are quite difference between just simple outsourcing and product-oriented. You need to estimate your resources. Team will be bigger. You need to spend more money for that. Most probably some kind of timing. At least half of the year to build, full-scale product. You need to think about how you host all of that kind of things, what kind of the environment you are using. Again, that's still technical issues, but it's very important because scalability is important, especially in case your product, event dependable, let's call it like this. So I don't know, maybe you have dating app, most probably it will be super often in usage, like 2 weeks before St. Valentine's Day, for example, right? And after that, it's just go down. Some stupid example from top of my head, but still. So yeah, that's something you need to think about, and you need to think how, right now you can add additional features that may attract additional people. You still cannot trade equality. I mean, you never can trade equality, but on this stage, you already need to think about how to attract real people who can pay you a real money.
Yeah, but what I would like to say is that when you're developing MVP, you already should think about scaling of the app. So the architecture, and when we talk about the quality, we mean exactly that. When it should follow all the right quality guidelines of the proper software development, when you have the right architecture, which take time, which takes some money during the MVP stage. So, but then it is ensures that in case you see that your product are like going well and you want to scale it, you can do this fast. So, and you will not need to spoil everything, because it can be a situation that you made the MVP super, super cheap, like very cheap, just, you know, to test it. And then you want to scale it and you understand that you can't work with this current state of the product and you need to develop it from scratch. So all the money which you invested initially will be just thrown. So it is like around, I guess, make a proper architecture maybe will rise additionally by 10-15% your budget, but it will give
budget for MVP, baby.
Budget for MVP, but it will give you very big value when you will start scaling it, and you will save much more than this 15%.
I mean, there are no generals who wanted to start the war and not winning that, right?
Yeah.
And some people approach the MVP like some say, well, it may not work out, so maybe don't need to do it like very well. Well, again, you kind of start in the war that you already lost in case you have this kind of approach.
Yeah, you should do it very well.
Yeah, you should
but
do it.
If you want to save budget proper, let them do less features, but let's do our core quality one.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
And that is, today we are not talking about comparing of proposals of different software company, but that is exactly one of the point why price in different companies for your particular project are different, because different teams include different
kind
things.
Of quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our 8th point, it is test marketing. So we have talked a little about it when we talk about marketing strategy and MVP.
But that was in theory. Now it's
So what is testing of the marketing? It is when you launching your before the full-scale launch of the MVP or full product, you should make the alpha and beta testing. A/B testing usually call it. Alpha testing, it is when the product are tested initially in the group of people, like internally in a software development company, or you between your friends, family, and
or
etc.
you just hire some kind of the focus group that helping you.
No, actually, external focus group. No, internal.
I'm talking about internally.
Yes, it is alpha testing when still no people from outside are involved, and when so it is first stage. You kind try to find the bugs, trying to find some nuances or gaps which probably was overlooked. And after alpha testing, you do beta testing. So beta testing, it is already when you made a focus group from your potential users. So it is actually already your potential clients.
Usually you are giving it to the group of people who may got the access to your application or to your software later, but for free. Like, everyone's supposed to pay for that. And those small group of people, because they spend their time to give you a feedback, can get it for free for some time, or maybe even forever in case you make it like that.
So that is kind of repetition before the big performance.
Preparation,
So that is your preparation, and after you test it, you make alpha and beta testing, and you check everything, you understood that everything working, then we do the proper launch to the market, and already starting to gathering feedback from App Store, Google Play Market, or any others ways how you can do it.
And then you iterate, that's it. I mean, that's everything you're supposed to do, starting from the idea to the launching, and iterationally improve until, well, 18 was probably you become a millionaire and don't care anymore, right? That's the best case scenario. But in the real life, I mean, the good products, they live long, they do lots of the pivots, and live until their market for that.
And actually, good products makes very good money. So you can become millionaire in like few years, really, in case you get into the point. So it is kind of expensive sometimes risky thing, but return of the investment is very big in case you done everything properly and was a little bit lucky. I still think that you need to be lucky sometimes, you know. So because you can't predict all the, you know, world things which may happen.
That's true.
Yeah. So. And some example which I wanted to talk about, it is actually when I was preparing for this podcast, I was thinking about Google Glasses. You know, the Google Glasses was
innovative product.
Innovative, very ambitious, ambitious project for the Google. They started it in 2012. And they launched it in 2014 and closed it.
That was long ago, by the way.
2015, they closed it. So because they probably missed something. It is when we talk about innovative ideas. We can't say that Google made some bad idea screening or idea generation. They probably did, but just because this was a blue ocean and nobody know
that
what
was
problem.
A front of the time.
Yeah, nobody was expecting what problem it may cause, because some of the main one, it was like technology was not perfect for the time. It is. I'm not sure it's even today. It is hardly
let's see,
technically.
Because right now Apple trying to do the same thing with.
We will go there. Wait a little.
Okay, sorry.
So it is a question of the battery. That you saw how the
of course.
Google Glasses. It is just like a glasses. I really like them because like if compared to the vision,
like exams would be great. I were a student that time, and I were like, I'll need the thing and the exam for sure.
I was using Apple Watch for exam. So yeah, and so it was a technical limitation because the battery was low, the quality of the video was low. Then it was the question of the privacy policy, because people was against that somebody would record against that somebody will record them on the street. So because you are walking with them and you can turn on the video and you will record some other people.
Well, but you still can do the same on the phone, but now it's kind of I can take. I mean.
Yes, it is. It's tricky thing, you know.
Of course.
It was high price, so they started from 1,500. And in 2012,
still not the iPhone price right now.
But in 2012, 1,500. It is not 1,500 today.
Yeah,
you know.
For sure.
And a lack of clear use case. Here, I think that they didn't know who will use it, like why people will need to use it. You know, this proper. I think that they understand for whom they are doing this, but I think that the people then wasn't ready for that, because I think that in 2012 people was not such video geeks as they are today.
Well,
right?
People used to wait for the end of the world, you know. Maya calendar used to end, right?
Yeah, but it was between 2011 and New Year. Yeah, and then today in how much 9 years, like 2012, okay, it is 11 10 years.
Depend how you calculate. I mean, from the launch or from the idea stage.
Yes. Right now we have Vision Pro. Like again, somebody else trying the same idea, but it's not the same. It is different.
If you tell someone from Apple that it's the same that Google, they will kill you.
I'm very sorry.
Guys from Apple, we are very sorry for this comparing, right?
Yeah, but still, Vision Pro. Somebody tried to develop it.
I heard yesterday in the, from the news that they had a plan to produce some kind of I don't know the exact number of the Vision Pro Oculus that they plan to produce, but I know that they cut it down to 50%.
Oh, okay.
So they already know something.
It is, for me, what is interesting in this story. For me, is very interesting how the Vision Pro will tackle the problems which the Google have had at 2012.
Again, the guys from Apple would tell you that that's a different thing. But let's see, we don't know. Okay, guys, thank you for listening to us today. I hope these insights were interested for you. In case you have any questions and you wanted to build your own digital product and you need help or just ask some questions, write it in a comment, contact us through the email or other channels, and we would be very happy to help you. Today with you were Andriy Sambir and Oksana Khrupa. Till the next time. Bye.
Bye bye.